Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gash, producers of the finest tomato paste in the Gambia. Jaja tomato paste, available in 5 kilos, 1 kilo and in sachets. For wholesale and retail, visit our factory at Banjulanding. We are also producers of Jaja mineral water, cool, clear and fresh. Gash, Gambia, Angola, China Holding, with headquarters at Fatu Golden Plaza, Mile 7, Bertel Harding Highway. Gash Group also provides the best security company, Gash Security, for your offices, warehouses, homes and personal property. Gash Group for all your construction projects, offering you quality water reticulation for your gardens, pump irrigation, tidal irrigation projects and all types of buildings. You can contact Gash on 396-7894, 700-8993, 373-0259. Visit us at Gash Global Group on Battle Harden Highway, Fatu Golden Plaza. Our website www.gashglobal.com. Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gash. Yunus English School. For quality and affordable education, look no further. Yunus English School has what you've been looking for. Yunus English School is a leading institution in the Gambia with nursery, lower basic, upper basic and senior secondary education with magnificent teaching and learning facilities. Yunus English School has highly qualified and experienced teaching staff preparing students for university and beyond. Yunus English School is an institution with distinct academic excellence, and the school operates not only in the usual 5 days a week but 6 days a week, Mondays to Saturdays, breaking a remarkable record on credit hour coverage for all our students. Contact Yunus English School today to register your children on 77-81443 or 707-0091 or still on 9249426. Better still, you can email yunusenglish@yahoo.com. At Yunus English School, excellence is a priority without compromise.
It's a warm welcome to our studio here in Serekunda. This is Star TV News with me, Momodu Baila Barre. In the headlines tonight, President Barrow accorded heroes welcome in Jambur. CSO's Victim Center to march in solidarity with TRRC. NAWEC Superintendent says Banjul floods due to bus pipe. MRC Holland Foundation adds more classrooms to go for lower basic. On the international scene, Nigeria builds new schools, but not all students can access them. A show of China's force in the air. Bangladesh air pollution damages lives, environment, and economy. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. President Adama Barrow was on Monday in the Kombo South village of Jambur, where he was accorded a hero's welcome. The president's Jambur trip was in fulfillment of his constitutionally sanctioned Meet the People tour. Modu Elbaji has been traveling with the presidential delegation and he prepared this report.
Addressing the Jambur meeting, President Adama Barrow reminded the attendees of the ongoing huge roads construction in Banjul and his government's desire to replicate it in other major towns such as Brikama and Serekunda.
mbe dol dogu kan ne andi mbe continuer pour que dogol ke kom am na ñu commencé ko liggéey te dinañ continuer di liggéey yeneen yoon nga projet we ko men ke Banjul projet bi ne ñu liggéey di Banjul nga muru nga ken na saté bal beetu loolu lañ bëgg a dellu ci waat ci dekay yu mag yi fii yëpp nga xamoo sotole nga féro sotole am nañ jéene bi am nañ pexe bi andu nga ju so fanan sotole te am nañ fi tam def ko bari sula rek kukrina wolom altel la support.
APRC deputy spokesperson Dudu Cha also addressed the Jambur meeting. Mr. Jha described President Adama Barrow as a man of peace, arguing that the president's good-naturedness is all the more reason Allah has entrusted him with the mantle of leadership. Mr. Jha described President Adama Barrow as a man of peace, arguing that the president's good-naturedness is all the more reason Allah has entrusted him with the mantle of leadership. Jha explained that many parties have quoted the APRC for an alliance, but the NPP stood out as the right choice. Ajimba Dibabojang in her address appealed to the government to construct access roads in Kombo South, especially the Nyofele Road, which she said is in a poor state. She also appealed for sufficient water supply in their gardens. Information Minister Ibrahim Asila called on the people of Kombo South to throw their full weight behind Mr. Barrow as he cited the Kiang, Njabakunda and Savasanja roads as classical examples of what President Barrow can deliver if given the chance. Veteran politician Dembo Bifos reminded the Jambul meeting of the path of reconciliation that Gambians took in the aftermath of the 1981 abortive coup. He thanked the APRC for its alignment to the NPP for the incoming general elections. For Star TV News, this is Momodu Dabo.
The Civil Society Organization and Victims Center are in solidarity with the TRRC as the truth-seeking body presents its reports and recommendations to the President Adama Barrow on Thursday. Our Sani reports.
After 2 years of public and in-camera hearings in which over 200 witnesses and survivors of the 22-year Jambe tyrannical rule gave testimonies, the TRRC is expected to finally deliver its findings and recommendations to the government in little over 48 hours. Meanwhile, as the nation and the world watch with bated breath the presentation of the eagerly looked forward to TRRC report and recommendations to President Barrow on Thursday, the civil society is marshalling public support for the Truth Commission. Currently, civil society organizations and victim center are reportedly banging heads together to stage a massive show of support for the TRRC on October 9th, as it looks forward to hand over the much-awaited report to the President. John Charles Njai is the chairman of the Association of Non-Governmental Organizations.
Indeed, civil society in Gambia has done a whole roadmap as per how we would interact and intervene post-TRRC. We know the TRRC report should be out very soon, and we deemed it as part of our interventions to have this solidarity march with the victims, also to celebrate the good work of the TRRC, and also to bring attention of the public and the attention of all the stakeholders to the importance of the recommendations of the TRRC, their importance as far as implementing the recommendation goes. And that's why we are doing this march. Everybody is going to be invited, the government, political parties, but let me be quick to say it's not going to be a political party platform for any party, but all stakeholders are invited to come and show their solidarity with the victims, people that have gone through a difficult period in this nation's history.
What exactly does the civil society hope to achieve from this solidarity march?
The first thing that we will achieve is to be able to empathize with victims of human rights violations and abuses in this country, to tell them they are not on their own, that the whole nation stands with them, and the whole nation would also ensure that justice prevails in this country. We also want to remind our government, this government and any subsequent government that will come, that it is important for them to pay attention to ensure that the recommendations that come from the TRRC report are implemented, so that justice is not only done but is seen to be done, and victims have respite, have closure, and can move on with their lives. That's how nations heal. And we want to be able to show that, demonstrate that, and by standing in solidarity, it also helps victims to heal.
The alliance between the APRC and the NPP has raised some moral and ethical questions, as some believe the political marriage between the two could hamstring the implementation of the TRRC recommendations. Is the civil society equally suspicious of a possible lethargy on the part of the government as far as the implementation of the TRRC recommendations is concerned? John Charles Njai again.
I have no suspicions. I go by what I see. I go by what I believe would be goodwill coming from the government of the Gambia. And the government of the Gambia is not a person. The government of the Gambia is a whole system that is in place. We are a nation of rule of law.
We have a National Assembly that passed the act to bring about the TRRC. We also have received commitment from the Office of the President that they would respect and also they stand to support the TRRC that they put in place. So we will go by that, but we will not also relent. We will continue our advocacy role. We will continue holding government accountable, and we will continue supporting the victims.
Meanwhile, President Adama Barrow clarified in a Star FM interview a month ago that he does not have the latitude for the decision over the execution of the TRRC recommendations. For Star TV News, this is Awasane.
After several days of public outcry over the flooding in Tobacco Road attributed to the ongoing road construction works in Banjul, the senior superintendent of NAWEC's Banjul office said the development was as a result of a burst water pipe.
The blah blah boom boom going on in town today is caused by this broken pipe here. We have a sea outfall which is broken, and then because of that problem we couldn't pump into the sea right now, and then it happened to a very bad time in the rainy season. So we have no choice. If we don't pump that water in the channel, that means there will be overflowing in town, in the homes. So that's why we have no choice but to pump the, and it is how it is designed too. Anytime if you have problem to pump in the sea here, we are given a portion, a place where to pump to, which is that channel. And this is what we are doing. But unfortunately, we will fall in the very difficult time when it's raining season and it's raining continuously. So the pumps that are on the other end there to lift the water out, they had problem because of this power going on and off. It burned our 2 panels. That's why we lose 2 pumps. 1 pump cannot handle this water. But now all the 2 pumps are restored. We restore the panels. They are working. And here too, we're going to open here at the seaside. Very soon, we resume pumping here. That's why we will divide the water. One part will go to the channel. The other one will come to the river.
Another 10 classroom story building has been added to Brufut Lower Basic School thanks to the collaboration among Casa Gambia, MRC Holland Foundation, and the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. Awasane has more.
Speaking at a ceremony organized to officially declare the building ready for use, Casa Gambia's chairman Ibrahim Jata attributed the successful implementation of the project to collective effort.
This project, Casa Gambia has registered a list of other achievements, namely rehabilitation of Brufut Lower Basic School that was done here 2 years ago, renovation of Sheikh Mahfouz School within this period. It makes a big step in development when one comes to realize that with the support of other people, we can achieve a lot that we can't do alone. Therefore, courage is resistance of fear. Mastery of fear is no absence of fear. To love truth for truth's sake is the principal part of human perfection in this world, and the seed plot of all other virtues. There was a long outstanding relationship with one of the most logical way to success, which is what we have demonstrated with our partners.
Mr. Jata underscored the importance of voluntarism and sacrifice to better communities than relying on the central government for development. He called on youths to take up the challenge of helping in the development of the country. Mr. Ibrahim Sedi of the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, also a former student of Brufut Lower Basic School, expressed gratitude and appreciation to Casa Gambia and partners for conceiving and executing the idea of the classroom project. He reiterated the lack of capacity on the part of the government as he highlighted the need for concerted efforts for national development.
Government cannot do all. The policies of the government has to be implemented in collaboration with other development partners. So now in this occasion, Madam Henrietta Sonko is a development partner. It's one of the biggest development partners. No, that is not only working in the sphere of education. It's into other lives. So when you look at the government spending in terms of education, infrastructural development in the country, apart from the World Bank and other development partners, currently MRC Holland Foundation is raising the flags of education for such type of development in the country. So now,
Headmaster of Bruford Blow Basic School, Mr. Sheriff B. Jambe, also emphasized the importance of volunteerism to national development.
During your time, this was not happening. You did your education in a hard line, but for today, these kids, this is what I always tell them. I always tell them, you are in paradise. If people like Casa are coming to this school, building a study building with 10 classrooms, paint all places and so on, really, at least you must do something. And the other part that Mr. Sado have mentioned, I am very disappointed on the side of parents. Parents, anytime that we call parents, they don't answer to our best. And this is a concern, please.
Meanwhile, the foundation stone of the now complete 10-classroom story was laid 2 years ago, and the project was fully financed by MRC Holland Foundation. Reporting for Star TV News, this is Awasane.
Well, those were the local stories. We'll be back with the international news after this break.
Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gosh, producers of the finest tomato paste in the Gambia. Jeja tomato paste, available in 5 kilos, 1 kilo and in sachets. For wholesale and retail, visit our factory at Banjulanding. We are also producers of Jeja mineral water, cool, clear and fresh. Gosh, Gambia, Angola, China Holding, with headquarters at Fatu Golden Plaza, Mile 7, Bertel Harding Highway. Gosh Group also provides the best security company, Gash Security, for your offices, warehouses, homes and personal property. Gash Group for all your construction projects, offering you quality water reticulation for your gardens, pump irrigation, tidal irrigation projects and all types of buildings. You can contact Gash on 396-7894, 700-8993, 373-0259. Visit us at Gash Global Group on Battle Harden Highway, Fatu Golden Plaza. Our website www.gashglobal.com. Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gash. Yunus English School. For quality and affordable education, look no further. Yunus English School has what you've been looking for. Yunus English School is a leading institution in the Gambia with nursery, lower basic, upper basic and senior secondary education with magnificent teaching and learning facilities. Yunus English School has highly qualified and experienced teaching staff preparing students for university and beyond. Yunus English School is an institution with distinct academic excellence, and the school operates not only in the usual 5 days a week but 6 days a week, Mondays to Saturdays, breaking a remarkable record on credit hour coverage for all our students. Contact Yunus English School today to register your children on 77814443 or 7070091 or still on 9249426. Better still, you can email yunusenglish@yahoo.com. At Yunus English School, excellence is a priority without compromise.
And now beyond our borders, education in Nigeria's northern Borno State, the region at the heart of years of Boko Haram violence, is getting back on track. With new schools now built, enrollment is increasing, but because facilities cannot be built in areas where Boko Haram is still active, thousands of children still have no schools to go. Al Jazeera's Ahmed Idris reports from Nigeria.
After years of disruptions, these high school students write their final year examinations. 6 years ago, most of them were either in displaced persons camps or on the streets with little hope of completing high school. They were forced from schools like these, attacked and damaged by the armed group Boko Haram, whose ideology is to fight Western education and influences.
Schooling became completely impossible, even within Maiduguri as of that time, because most of the infrastructure of schools have become camps. Then we had to roll in, at that time, what was called education under emergency. Gradually, we emerged out of the emergency phase, and now we are working towards the stabilization phase. is a challenge. So much of our infrastructure has been destroyed. You know, once it becomes a disaster, it exceeds our coping capacity.
This is now the face of schools in northern Nigeria's Borno state, the epicenter of the conflict. Old structures rehabilitated and new ones constructed. Dozens of story buildings like this have been built to absorb as many out-of-school children as possible. Still, tens of thousands more are unable to access education. The government is unable to construct or rehabilitate schools in areas where there are significant threats from Boko Haram. School enrollment is up, but the figure is nowhere near what it was before the conflict began. The United Nations Children's Fund says more than 1 million children were targeted for enrollment in the first 4 months of this year, but less than half that number were able to attend class because of the lack of facilities and security concerns. Experts want the Nigerian government to prioritize safety.
Security of those words or children that are to be enrolled, that's the most important thing, that their security should be guaranteed, and that of their teachers. You can't just give education to those in the urban areas, neglecting those in the rural areas. So those in the rural areas are now afraid of going back because they are not certain. They are not assured of their security.
With many schools in Nigeria's north classified as vulnerable to attacks by armed groups, some parents here in Borno worry about putting the lives of their children at risk. Ahmed Idris, Al Jazeera, Maiduguri, Nigeria.
China is showing off more of its most advanced aircraft, technology and weaponry at its biggest air show. New prototype drones that can carry missiles and go on reconnaissance missions are on display in the city of Zhuhai. The show is being held as its rivalry with the US and other Western countries intensifies, along with disputes over the South China Sea and Taiwan. Al Jazeera's Laura Boden-Manley reports.
A show of China's force in the air and its advanced technology.
I think everyone cares most about H-20 bomber, but it's not here. Maybe we'll have to wait for a few more years. Other than that, it's the J-20 fighter.
J-10 and J-20 stealth fighters are among the highlights at this air show in Zhuhai City. It's part of Beijing's drive to compete against Western rivals in selling its latest military hardware and technology.
The main feature of the FK-2000 air defence weapon system is that it's a combat vehicle integrated with an air defence system. It has 2 sets of radar, a photoelectric sensor, 6 missiles on each side, and 2 anti-aircraft guns.
It's a show the US is likely to keep a close eye on. It signed a security pact with the UK and Australia that includes providing nuclear-powered submarines to Canberra as a deterrent against what they see as Chinese threats in the Indo-Pacific region. Last week, leaders of Japan, Australia and India met US President Joe Biden in the White House. The so-called Quad is seen as a counterweight to China's growing influence and says it's committed to what it calls a free and open Indo-Pacific region. China has also bought military outposts on artificial islands in the South China Sea in an effort to reclaim territory that's also claimed by other countries in the region. Back in Zhuhai, China shows off its prototype of the advanced CH-6 drone.
Unmanned aerial vehicles used in reconnaissance roles and in combat missions. I think that's where the trend is really heading towards for China in mimicking the trends set by the United States as the leading military power in the world. We've seen over the last 2 decades a shift towards a lot of autonomous, unmanned, highly intelligent military platforms on land and in the sea and in the air.
Industry experts say although many of China's aircraft aren't yet a match for those in the US Air Force, Beijing's clearly out to narrow that gap. Laura Boden-Manley, Al Jazeera.
Air pollution has been smothering Bangladesh for years, causing deaths and damaging the environment and the economy. The country has the worst pollution in the world. According to global air quality reports, health experts say pollution is a silent killer, and the number of respiratory illness has increased tenfold in recent years. Many living in the capital city wear masks were out in the streets, not just because of COVID-19, but also due to pollution. Environmental experts say unplanned development, coal-run industries, brick links, and construction works has made the situation worse. Al Jazeera Chodwari reports from Dhaka, Bangladesh.
Bangladesh has one of the world's fastest growing economies, but its rapid urban development and heavy construction in the densely packed capital Dhaka has come at a cost: pollution. For Rahman, who lives in Dhaka, it's a hard reality.
I've been admitted here for the last 2 weeks, but I've been suffering from respiratory illnesses for quite some time now. Even had corona in between this period. It all has to do with dust and pollution.
Health experts say pollution is a silent killer, and the number of respiratory illness has increased tenfold in recent years.
Absolutely, because of air pollution, the number of patients has increased, suffering from various pulmonary, respiratory and other lung diseases. We've observed that the number of people we used to attend to as outdoor patients with respiratory illnesses has also increased significantly. The air pollution is an important factor.
Many living in the city wear masks when out in its streets, and not just because of COVID-19.
We have to wear masks all the time because of the heavy dust and smoke that comes out of the vehicles. Otherwise it's hard to breathe. Although it's kind of uneasy to wear this all the time, we have no choice because of the pollution.
Environmental experts say unplanned development, coal-run industries, brick factories and construction works have made the situation worse.
Right now, Bangladesh is the top ranking of the worst air quality country in the world. Unfortunately, we are not 100% responsible for this. This is because of the transboundary movement of the air and polluted air from the neighboring countries like India, Nepal and Myanmar. So this is very alarming.
In a report, the Energy Policy Institute at Chicago's Air Quality Life says air pollution is shortening the life expectancy of people in Bangladesh by nearly 5.5 years. I've been wearing this white mask for several hours and going around the city. Now you can see the dust and pollution on the mask. This shows the quality of air people are breathing here in the capital, Dhaka. At present, the average life expectancy of people here is 72.6 years. But the Institute's report says those in the capital could live 7.7 years longer if air pollution was reduced. Tanvir Chaudhary, Al Jazeera, Dhaka.
And before we end the news, a quick recap of our main headlines. President Barrow accorded heroes welcome in Jammu. CSO's Victim Center to march in solidarity with TRRC. NAWEC Superintendent says Banjul floods due to burst pipe. MRC Holland Foundation adds more classrooms to go for lower basic. On the international scene, Nigeria builds new schools, but not all students can access them. A show of China's force in the air. Bangladesh air pollution damages lives, environment, and economy. That's all for this edition of the news. Do join us tomorrow for more news. Please stay tuned and enjoy the rest of our programs. Until then, have a very good night.